ring, the challenger, AJ Anthony Joshua.
MMA striking coach, man I've known for over 20 years. And our unofficial scorer, Sean Wheelock, gave the opening round to the returning legend.
Here we go, live.
A close fight, so you don't...
For AJ not having it on his own.
I think both guys actually take that.
Ching 2.
Body back forward. There's the left hand.
Got it fairly wide, haven't you, Carl? I know Tony Bellew has too. I've seen Anthony Joshua so fast. Left, right, left foot comes
to it. His age, yeah, he's been pretty busy. Look at it.
Anthony Joshua. The Joshua.
With the right hand.
Oh,
Joshua misses with the right hand.
The showdown between Jake Paul and Anthony Joshua played out like a gripping, slow-building heavyweight saga. Each moment seemed to carry more weight than the last, and neither fighter had an easy path forward.
Anthony Joshua, as we all know, never been down, amateur or pro. But there's some
It's throws a lazy jab. That's what you want.
very loose. To play a part in this.
From the very first bell, Jake Paul entered the ring with ease and confidence, light on his feet, throwing jabs, aiming to set the pace and show he had earned his spot in the ring. Meanwhile, Anthony Joshua remained composed and poised, standing tall with a steady gaze, waiting for the action to unfold rather than forcing it.
and this jab right there that really knocked Jake back. And we see that. Only one big shot, 2 points.
The matching with the right hand. So a lot of focus on Joshua's.
We'll find a pretty busy pace.
Should have the crowd like that. Traction, the glamorous. Looks in control, but up close as he tries the uppercut.
The opening rounds felt like a tactical chess game, wrapped in raw power. Jake Paul circled, using feints to break Joshua's rhythm, while Joshua stayed focused, gauging the distance and stepping forward just enough to remind Jake of the reality of facing a veteran heavyweight. As the fight progressed, the exchanges became more precise, clinches evolved into tests of strength, and the pace shifted from a quick pace to a grueling mental battle.
Another jolting right hand sends Joshua down. Anthony Joshua floored and hurt here in the 6th round.
The atmosphere was electric, with the crowd holding its breath every time Joshua set his feet, while you could feel Jake Paul summon every ounce of resolve as the pressure built, refusing to panic or back down. By the middle of the fight, it transformed into something rarer, less about proving points and more about navigating the tough moments, managing exhaustion, and making key decisions under duress. Both fighters took their time. Neither one gave in, and each round seemed like a battle between raw belief and seasoned experience, unfolding in the moment.
Very loose. To play a part in this.
And this jab right there that really knocked Jake back. And we see that. Only one big shot, 2 points.
The matching with the right hand. So a lot of focus on Joshua's.
We'll find a pretty busy pace.
Should have the crowd like that. Traction, the glamorous. Looks in control, but
As the fight entered its later rounds, sweat, breath, and sheer willpower spoke volumes, with both fighters leaning on their composure as much as their strength. It wasn't flashy or reckless, it was a display of focused intensity. Ambition met the brutal reality of the heavyweight division, leaving the crowd electrified. Not due to one defining moment, but because the fight itself posed a question only the ring could ask, compelling everyone to stay and witness the answer unfold.
In that ring, it's a dangerous place to be and anything can happen. And you hope your opponent leaves the ring safely, but if they don't, you still have to go to bed at night knowing that you just done your job, it wasn't personal.
I mean, yeah, look, I mean, it is a big task, but I mean, if this fight were 14 months ago or whatever, however many months ago you had the belt, then when I win, it would have been me becoming the heavyweight champion of the world. So
you would have beat me for the belt.
And you claim you're better than Tyson, all these people, so I mean,
Before the opening bell even rang, the contrast was clear right from the weigh-in, setting the stage for everything that came after. Anthony Joshua stepped onto the scale at a firm 243.4 pounds, his physique sharp, well-proportioned, and purposeful. He wasn't carrying excess bulk for appearance, he was built like a heavyweight who knew exactly how to prepare his body for 12 brutal rounds.
243.4. 243.4. 243.4, Mr. Anthony Joshua. 243.4. I'm gonna need all media to scoot back this way, guys. All media, scoot back. Security, help me out.
There was no unnecessary weight, no gimmicks, just the undeniable presence of a man who knew how to carry his size, strength, and the weight of expectation all in one. At that weight, Joshua seemed perfectly tuned for both control and endurance. He was heavy enough to assert his physical dominance, yet composed enough to move with calculated patience rather than rushing his opportunities. It didn't come across as a show of force but more as a clear message that he was ready for real work, not a spectacle, understanding that in the heavyweight division, structure and stability are just as vital as raw power. Jake Paul weighed in at 216 pounds, noticeably lighter, leaner, and more agile, carrying himself with the assurance of someone who trusted his conditioning and speed more than raw muscle. His weight was a reflection of his strategy, focused on mobility, rhythm, and endurance rather than pure strength. It hinted at a game plan centered on movement, timing, and confidence in his stamina.
216.6.
Absolutely dialed! You listen to me, brother! When the ring bells, I'm coming in there and I'm coming on his ass! You know who I are! I are him! Let's go!
At 216 pounds, Jake Paul appeared athletic and primed, not intimidated by the size difference but fully aware of it. He prioritized efficiency over sheer mass, precision over power. The weight difference didn't seem like a weakness, it felt more like a calculated risk, rooted in the belief that preparation, speed, and self-confidence could close the gap against a heavier opponent. Together, those numbers told a story before the first punch was thrown. Two fighters, two distinct philosophies, entering the same ring with very different visions of how the fight would unfold. Right after those numbers on the scale made it clear this was a battle between two fully grown men, AJ took the MIC and made a point to remind everyone not to mistake kindness for mercy. As I listened to Joshua speak, I thought, this isn't arrogance, this is the voice of experience. He wasn't calling Jake delusional, he was calling him dangerous in the most crucial way, belief. AJ's message was straightforward: underestimate a man who believes in himself, and you've just handed him an advantage. When he says, you're getting the full AJ, it's not trash talk, it's a professional warning, a statement of intent.
Do you just think this guy's deluded?
Nah. Look, an amateur coming into the game with no experience, he's taking on some good names. They may be old, they may be from different combats in terms of MMA and so on, but he's got in the ring at a decent level, fought Tommy Fury and so on, so he believes in himself. I take it seriously, I respect it.
Yeah, but their levels, come on AJ.
No hand-holding, no easy rounds, no influencer theatrics, just a disciplined heavyweight executing the craft of his division. I appreciate the way he describes it, too, like a master at work, not a brute. Knockouts aren't luck, they're the result of careful preparation. You don't force them, you create them. And when he emphasizes integrity, that's the part some Jake fans might overlook. AJ isn't here to be a villain or a hero, he's here to do his job the right way, because this sport doesn't reward shortcuts.
The fact that you've been Olympic champion, two-time world champion, are you going to have to carry him to make it a spectacle? Or is he going to get the full AJ?
The full. The full. I've never gone in there and knocked someone out within 10 seconds. There's a methodical process to knocking someone out. But if the opportunity presents itself, I'm not planning on carrying Jake for 1 second more than I have.
And yes, he leans into the knockout talk with a knowing smile. Because let's be real, anyone watching understands why boxing comes alive when fists are flying. This wasn't AJ glorifying violence, it was him saying, "I'm not here to tone it down." At 243 pounds, with power in both hands and no interest in babysitting, he projects the confidence of a man who knows exactly who he is, what's expected of him, and how fine the line is between showmanship and seriousness. And believe me, when a heavyweight speaks this calmly, clearly, and unapologetically, that's the moment you stop laughing and start paying attention.
And AJ, they want you to win by a knockout. What do you make of that? People here in the States as well.
I love him. That's what we gotta do. That's what we're supposed to do. From the days of watching Mike, whether it's Foreman, Shavers, why do people love boxing? They don't love it from fighters that box 12 rounds and look great technically. They want to see people getting knocked out. It's just the game I'm in. People got to understand it. And I know people know where I'm coming from. They are like, oh my God, he's so crazy. No, they want to see knockouts. I respect it. I love it.
Right after AJ laid down his calm, heavyweight authority, Jake Paul stepped up with the energy of someone who's already confronted destiny in his own mind. Listening to him, you can't help but think, this is peak Jake Paul, part manifesting monk, part main character, fully convinced the universe is RSVPing to his storyline. He's composed, deliberate, and speaks like this fight has been mapped out on his vision board for years. Whether you buy into it or not, that kind of confidence is dangerous. It doesn't crack under pressure. When Jake claims people don't see what he sees, you almost believe him. Not because he's necessarily right, but because that level of belief lets you step into a storm with a smile. Even the small moments, like a Starbucks barista line, carry that classic Jake mix of corny, calculated, and somehow unforgettable.
And to be brutally honest, not many of them are rooting for you. Some have said to me, he's deluded. What would you say to them?
I know you got him picked. Like, that's what it is, you know. Of course, people don't believe in me. They don't see what I can do. They're not in the gym with me. So I don't blame them for having that opinion and thinking that this is a crazy fight for me. But I see something completely different that no one else sees, and they're going to get to see it in roughly 24 hours.
Jake is trying to turn tension into control, making a 6 feet 6 inches heavyweight feel like just another character in his own story. When he talks about nerves, meditation, breath work, and releasing energy, it's not fear, it's preparation expressed in his influencer-style language. You might chuckle, but you can't dismiss it. I also love how he casually shrugs off the scripted fight chatter, as if to say, relax. This isn't a Netflix drama. Yet, he acts like the world is bending around him. That here's the key, Jake isn't pretending this is easy. He calls it the toughest challenge of his life, and that honesty makes his confidence even more striking. He isn't reckless, he's fully committed. Whether that belief survives the first contact is another story. But walking into a moment like this, cracking jokes, breathing calmly, and showing no visible fear? That tells me one thing. Jake Paul may be outmatched, but his entering upright, smiling, and fully convinced this chapter ends exactly how he pictured it. In boxing, belief alone won't win fights, but it sure can make them uncomfortable for the opponent.
What would it mean if you pulled this off?
Yeah, when I win tomorrow, I mean, it's going to be an incredible moment, but at the same time, I know that it's coming. So I'll be very happy, and it'll, shock the world. People the world will be turned upside down, but at the same time, it'll just be proving myself right, and I will be the face of boxing, the king of boxing, and just continue from there into more big.
By the end of the night, this didn't feel like just another fight. It felt like a stress test for boxing itself. Experience, belief, preparation, and pressure were all thrown into the same ring to see which would give first. One fighter brought years of disciplined control, the other carried confidence, vision, and an unshakable sense of belonging. That clash alone made every moment count. This wasn't about flashy highlights or viral clips, it was about how each man handled the weight of expectation when the noise faded and the work truly began. Now I want you in on the discussion. Fights like this don't really end with the final bell. Did experience dominate, or did belief push the limits further than you imagined? Share your thoughts in the comments, respectful debate only. And if you're following the boxing stories, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.